Were his brothers cops? Were his brothers cops? Can you edit after 1 month? Can you edit after 1 month? In winter, they should wear thick clothes. In winter, they should wear thick clothes. Can't lie at sunrise? Can't lie at sunrise? Do we have enough time to catch the train? Do we have enough time to catch the train? We will close. We will close. I read an interesting article about the benefits of reading. I read an interesting article about the benefits of reading. Your grandmother is a comedian. Your grandmother is a comedian. The computer repaired by the technician is running smoothly. The computer repaired by the technician is running smoothly. They lived happily ever after. They lived happily ever after. The novel was a great piece of literature. The novel was a great piece of literature. You can file a lawsuit 4 months in advance. You can file a lawsuit 4 months in advance. I may not be able to referee every day. I may not be able to referee every day. Flawless. Flawless. I'm sorry I missed him. I'm sorry I missed him. He needs to buy his friend a birthday present. He needs to buy his friend a birthday present. He wrote a letter to his pen pal. He wrote a letter to his pen pal. I'm applying. I'm applying. They can never be surgeons. They can never be surgeons. Was his stepfather a researcher? Was his stepfather a researcher? You should brush your teeth twice a day. You should brush your teeth twice a day. Can you continue? Can you continue? The juicer is great for making fresh juice. The juicer is great for making fresh juice. Did he wash the dishwasher later at 3 a.m.? Did he wash the dishwasher later at 3 a.m.? May not suggest at dawn. May not suggest at dawn. He was training his basketball skills. He was training his basketball skills. Will we shepherd often? Will we shepherd often? If they won the match, they would celebrate. If they won the match, they would celebrate. Wasn't he in shape for 3 afternoons? Wasn't he in shape for 3 afternoons? We wouldn't load at dusk. We wouldn't load at dusk. What is the purpose of your trip? What is the purpose of your trip? Can we accept every week? Can we accept every week? They are watching a game. They are watching a game. Most of my day was spent in meetings. Most of my day was spent in meetings. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. Passengers board the plane. Passengers board the plane. We'll stop at noon. We'll stop at noon. His friend is an inventor. His friend is an inventor. The director of the movie is Steven Spielberg. The director of the movie is Steven Spielberg. John took a nap. John took a nap. Can I help you find a comfortable seat? Can I help you find a comfortable seat? The legendary musician gave an unforgettable concert. The legendary musician gave an unforgettable concert. Where can I find a place to do laundry on campus? Where can I find a place to do laundry on campus? I have too much faith in myself. I have too much faith in myself. The dog barks at the postman. The dog barks at the postman. He wishes he could talk to animals. He wishes he could talk to animals. He wrote a letter to his friend. He wrote a letter to his friend. Your brother-in-law was the speaker. Your brother-in-law was the speaker. We watched a football match on TV. We watched a football match on TV. Despite being a small town, it has a lot to offer. Despite being a small town, it has a lot to offer. Were my relatives tradesmen? Were my relatives tradesmen? Was my grandfather a guard? Was my grandfather a guard? It's easy to get lost in a new city. It's easy to get lost in a new city. Could attack every year. Could attack every year. Does not undertake. Does not undertake. They had been waiting at the airport for hours when their flight was finally announced. They had been waiting at the airport for hours when their flight was finally announced. We can take it out. We can take it out. It brought back our milk from 3 weeks ago. It brought back our milk from 3 weeks ago. I'll tie the atmosphere to the August sun to attract you. I'll tie the atmosphere to the August sun to attract you. I will return the book to the library. I will return the book to the library. He played guitar for years before joining a band. He played guitar for years before joining a band. The first thing he did in the morning was make coffee. The first thing he did in the morning was make coffee. We had a great time at the party, they said. We had a great time at the party, they said. Were they created? Were they created? I have been working at school for 6 hours. I have been working at school for 6 hours. I'm starting a new job next week, he told his brother. I'm starting a new job next week, he told his brother. The old building used to be a school. The old building used to be a school. I've been listening to music for 20 hours. I've been listening to music for 20 hours. Although the road was bumpy, they reached their destination safely. Although the road was bumpy, they reached their destination safely. He often goes to the library. He often goes to the library. They have never been to Europe before. They have never been to Europe before. I love taking photos. I love taking photos. He worked late last week. He worked late last week. Is your uncle a factory worker? Is your uncle a factory worker? No base? No base? I have an appointment on Wednesday morning. I have an appointment on Wednesday morning. I need to finish writing this novel. I need to finish writing this novel. Your daughter was an anthropologist. Your daughter was an anthropologist. A compulsory training organized by the company. A compulsory training organized by the company. I'll catch up in a century. I'll catch up in a century. Who are the men mentioned in the message below? Who are the men mentioned in the message below? Do they respond to our request for a quiet room? Do they respond to our request for a quiet room? One day later it would not match. One day later it would not match. They couldn't have been better at sunset. They couldn't have been better at sunset. The song I heard on the radio got stuck in my tongue. The song I heard on the radio got stuck in my tongue. Can they always do chemistry? Can they always do chemistry? Won't I be a sportscaster sometimes? Won't I be a sportscaster sometimes? It can be published after 4 weeks. It can be published after 4 weeks. What do you recommend? What do you recommend? I enjoy solving puzzles even though it is challenging. I enjoy solving puzzles even though it is challenging. I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to be more patient. I'm going to the south side of town. I'm going to the south side of town. He wishes to have studied abroad during his university years. He wishes to have studied abroad during his university years. His brothers were swimmers. His brothers were swimmers. Lisa is my sister. Lisa is my sister. I have a lot of satisfaction. I have a lot of satisfaction. Duty. Duty. They cooked dinner together and had a great time. They cooked dinner together and had a great time. Expiration date. Expiration date. I'm going out for lunch tomorrow. I'm going out for lunch tomorrow.